Good morning, dear students. How are you? As in the previous class, we were studying about our chapter number 8, soil. So, what is soil, my dear students? Soil is the brownish or blackish substance that forms the uppermost layer of the earth crust on which plant grow. What is the soil? Soil is the brown or black color substance that covers the upper layer of the earth, and here plants grow. Not only plants grow, but all the living organisms survive on the soil. Many animals have their home in the soil or under the soil. So soil is very necessary for growing plants and for crops and for many reasons. Okay, so about this already we have studied deeply in our previous classes. Now just we will in the previous class we were talking about the types of soil. So what are the types of soil we have seen? The types of soil are sandy soil. So sandy soil is a soil which is made up of large size particle. Then we studied about the clayey soil. Clayey soil is the soil which is made up of very fine particles, whereas third type of soil which we studied was the loamy soil. Loamy soil is made up of mixture of both sandy soil and clayey soil, and it is very suitable for growing crops. Now today what we have to study, today we will study about the properties of the soil. We will study today about the various properties of the soil. So my dear student, different types of soil have different types of properties which helps us to differentiate between them. So some of the properties of the soil are, through which we can differentiate or through we can make a difference in these types of soil, are water absorption capacity of soil, moisture present in soil, and the rate at which the water passes through the soil. One is water absorption capacity, second is moisture, and third is the rate at which the soil passes through the rate at which water passes through the soil. So the property of the soil through which it allow the water to pass through it is called the percolation rate. Once again I am repeating, the rate at which the water passes through the soil is known as percolation rate, and the ability of soil to make a water to pass through is known as percolation. Now we will see the property of soil one by one. Okay, so first property we are going to see is the water absorption capacity of the soil. What is a water absorption capacity? The water absorption means the amount of water a soil can absorb. The amount of water a soil can absorb is known as the water absorption capacity of the soil. See, we all know that plants obtain water from the soil. See, what plant need water for their growth. Plant need water for their growth, and water they get from the soil. So the water absorption capacity determines the type of soil, determines the types of plant grow in a region. The water absorption capacity of a soil determines the type of plant growing in a particular type of region or in a particular type of soil. Therefore, the more water a soil will absorb, the more water will be available to plants. How much water the soil will absorb, the more the plant will grow. Okay, next type of property we were talking about the moisture in the soil. So to know about this property, just we carry out an activity, and in that activity what we have to do, just we take a beaker and put some amount of soil in it. We take a beaker and put some amount of soil in it, and we cover it with a lid, and then we allow it to heat, After some time, after some time you will see that small droplets of water are present on the lid of a beaker. A small amount of water droplets are present on the lid of the beaker. So from where this water droplet come from? These water droplet comes from the water present in the soil. This means that the soil contain a small amount of moisture in them. This moisture got changed into vapors, and this vapor on reaching the lid turned into water droplets. So water is present in the form of moisture in the soil. Different type of soil have different type amount of moisture in them. Like sandy soil have less amount of moisture, whereas some other soil have more amount of moisture. So different type of soil have different amount of moisture present in them. Clay will have more amount of moisture than sand. Clay will have more amount of moisture in than sand. So this is another property in which we see that the amount of moisture is also responsible for which type of plant grow in it. That is, the amount of moisture determines the which type of plant grow in the particular type of soil. Next, third property is the percolation rate of water in soil. So already we have discussed what is a percolation. Percolation means the property of water through which water flows from the soil. What is the percolation? Percolation is a property of a soil through which the water flows in the soil. So the rate at which water can pass through the soil is known as percolation rate. The rate at which the water can pass through the soil is known as its percolation rate. The more porous the soil, the higher is its percolation rate. The more porous is the soil, the higher is the percolation rate. What is the meaning of porous? Porous, my dear, means having a small space between them through which liquid or gas can pass. What is the means of porous? Porous means is a hollow space through which liquid or gas can pass. So my dear student, different type of soil have different percolation rate. Soil of bigger particle will have more space for water to pass through it. That is, sandy soil have more percolation rate on comparison with the clay soil. In comparison with the clay soil, the sandy soil will have more percolation rate. That is, the sandy soil have bigger particles, so it will easily allow the water to pass through them, whereas the soil having bigger particle will easily allow the water to pass through them, whereas the clay soil, which is having a fine particles, does not allow the water to pass through them. That is, it allows very less water to pass through it. So therefore, the soil which hold more water or have more which have larger space allow the air to pass through them. That is, it allow the plant to breathe. So therefore, the soil having a little bigger space will allow the more plant to grow in them. Next, we were talking about the exercises. So what is first exercise is true and false in this chapter. So first, true or false is sand will have more moisture than clay, so it is false. Sand will have more moisture than clay, it is false. When soil is heated, air bubbles cool down and condense at the mouth of the test tube, it is false. The rate at which water can pass through the soil is known as percolation rate, true. The more porous the soil, the lower is its percolation rate, that is false. Next, match the columns. Sandy soil, which type of particle it have? Sandy soil have large particles, that is, contains large particles. Clay soil appears sticky when wet. Clay soil appears sticky when get wet. Loamy soil have high humus content in it. Loamy soil have high humus content in it. Next, fertility of the soil. What is means by fertility? First of all, what is the meaning of fertility or fertile? So the meaning of word fertile means fertile comes from the word fertility, and fertility means the ability of soil to provide nutrition, required nutrition and water in the right amount needed for the plant growth. The word fertiles come from the word fertility, and fertility means the ability of the soil to provide required nutrition and water in the right amount needed for the plant growth. So the what is the main reason for being a soil we can call a soil fertile? So soil is fertile when it provide a required nutrition and adequate amount of water required for the plants. So soil is very needed to be fertile for a healthy growth of a plant. Okay, so the fertility of the soil is also dependent on various factors. The fertility of the soil is also dependent on various factors such as soil pH, nutrition, soil pH, aeration, water moisture content and amount of nutrition. There are four reasons on which we can say the soil can be called as fertile, or four factors through which we can call a soil as fertile. The first is soil pH, second one is aeration, third is moisture content and fourth is nutrition. So one by one we will look at each. First we will talk about soil pH. So what is the meaning of actual pH, or what is we can say soil pH? So the word pH, the pH is a scale which determines the acidity or basicity, or we can say alkalinity of the soil, of the substance. What is a pH? pH is a scale which determines the substance is whether acidic or basic. So when we comes in the with the soil, so soil pH means it indicates the acidity or alkalinity of the soil. What is the soil pH? Soil pH indicates the acidity or alkalinity of the soil. This has a very special effect on the root to take up minerals from the soil. The acidity or basicity plays an important role for the growth of the plant as it is responsible for the absorption of the minerals from the soil. A soil having pH higher than 7 makes the soil alkaline, whereas pH less than 7 makes the soil acidic. And both of them, whether the soil is acidic or basic, both are not favorable for the plant growth. Not with the acidic soil and the basic soil, both are not favorable for the plant growth. Plant growth always grow somewhere in a neutral areas, or where the soil is neutral. Always the plant grow in a neutral soil. So suppose if the soil is acidic, so we add calcium carbonate or lime in it. When the soil is acidic, we add calcium carbonate or lime in it, whereas while the soil is alkaline, we add or we treat it with peat to neutralize the pH. We add peat to neutralize the pH. Next important factor of the soil is aeration. What is soil aeration? So soil aeration refers to the amount of air present in the soil. What is a soil aeration? Soil aeration refers to the amount of air present in the soil. Plant grow in the soil where the soil is loosened. So already we know that before growing our crops, what do the farmer do? Farmer always plough the field. Why do the farmer plough the field? The farmer plough the field to loosen the soil, because plants always grow in the places where there is a space in the soil. So loosened soil help in improving the porosity of the soil. Loosened soil helps in improving the porosity of the soil, due to which roots are easily penetrated deeper. And porosity of the soil affects the absorption capacity of the soil. So porous soil also improves the water absorption capacity of the soil, thus making the soil fertile. And already we discussed that to increase the aeration, what does the farmer do? Farmer always plough the field for loosening the soil and for increasing its porosity. Next, moisture content. So we already studied that plant require, or that is soil contain moisture in it, and plant absorb the water from the soil they use for their use. How do the plant get the water? Plant get the water from the soil. So therefore the moisture content of the soil should be rightly supplied to the plant need to be supplied in an adequate amount of water for their growth. Too little moisture can make the plant to die or wilt, whereas too much of water can cause water logging and preventing the root from being able to function properly. So both, neither heavy amount of water is required, neither too much little amount of water is required. Always adequate amount of water should be given to the plant for their growth. And for supplying the water in the fields, what we do? We irrigate the fields. Which is done to increase the moisture content of the soil, which is always done to increase the moisture content of the soil. Nutrition. So plant needs certain organic material for their growth, such as humus. Sometimes these nutrition are not available in the soil. So what we do? We just add the nutrition from the outside source. So what are the nutrition required by the plants? Some of the nutrition which are required by the plant for their growth are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and calcium. These all are required for the growth and development, and such substances are called nutrients. Nutrition. These nutrients are either present in the soil, from where they are absorbed by the roots. These nutrients are mostly available in the soil and which are absorbed by the roots. But if these are not available in the soil, what we do? We add fertilizers like nitrates, phosphates, etc., or manures to the soil. Either we add chemical fertilizers like nitrate, phosphate, or we add manure to fulfill the nutrition requirement of the plant for their healthy growth. After that, so these were the important factors responsible for the making of the soil fertile. What happens when the soil is not fertile? So sometimes the fertile topsoil is get washed away by the wind or water. When there is either heavy rainfall or when there is a strong storms, the upper layer or the topsoil is blown away by the winds or water. And water, and when this top layer, that is fertile layer, is blown away or washed away by the water or air, the soil becomes unfit for the plant growth. So the loss of topsoil caused by running water and action of wind is called soil erosion. What is the soil erosion? The soil erosion is the loss of topsoil caused by running water or action of wind. The loss of topsoil caused by running water and action of wind is called soil erosion. Got it, my dear student? What is the soil erosion? Soil erosion is the loss of topsoil caused by running water or action of wind. So we will see just what are the reason for the soil erosion. So the major causes of soil erosion are first one, deforestation. Deforestation refers to the removal or cutting down of tree on large scale. Deforestation means cutting down the forest or cutting down the trees on large scale is known as deforestation. When trees are removed, the soil becomes barren. The soil becomes barren and it can be easily carried away by the running water or wind, thus causes soil erosion. See, we know that roots of the plant hold the soil. Roots of the plant hold the soil. Or roots of the plants or tree hold the soil. So when the trees are cut, these roots die and they are unable to hold this soil, and this when they are unable to hold this soil, the soil is easily washed away by the winds or waters. The first reason for the washing away of the washing away of the water by wind or water is deforestation. Next important reason is overgrazing. When animal graze on a piece of land again and again, the vegetation over that land get removed very quickly. The vegetation over that land get removed very quickly. Thus land is left barren and exposed to wind and water, which causes soil erosion. So when animal graze on a large piece of land, so the vegetation over particular land is removed and the soil becomes barren. The same reason, when the plants are eaten by the animal, the plants die and get their roots leave the soil, and the upper layer of the soil is then again washed away by wind or water. Next important reason we can say is flood or heavy rainfall. So flood and heavy rainfall washes away the top layer of the soil very rapidly. Flood and heavy rainfall wash away the top layer of the soil very rapidly. Next important reason is the improper farming. Improper farming practice, especially on hills, make easy for the wind and water to erode soil. What is the improper farming? That is growing same crop again and again, or adding a large amount of fertilizers or chemicals in the soil, makes the soil barren, and which makes it easy to remove the which makes the wind or water to easily remove the upper layer of the soil. So what are the ways through which we can prevent soil erosion? The proper measures should be taken to avoid the erosion of the soil quickly and making it long time fertile. So the reason we can prevent the soil erosion by the following method, and the process of prevention or reduction of the rate of soil erosion is called the soil conservation. The process of prevention or reduction in the rate of soil erosion is called soil conservation. So some of the following measures that help in conserving the soil are afforestation. So what is afforestation? Afforestation refers to the planting of trees in large number. What is afforestation? Afforestation refers to the planting of tree in large number which prevent the soil from being washed away. Grasses and herbs can also be planted to cover large areas of soil. Grasses and herbs can also be planted to cover large areas of loose soil. Next is overgrazing should be avoided. So the animal should be moved to different area for grazing after some time. This gives ample time for the plants and grass to grow back. Next, floods can be controlled by constructing large dams. A large extent of dam. Mud walls should be constructed around hilly areas. Constructed around hilly areas or slopy areas, so to prevent water from flowing and taking away the topsoil with it. Third important method through which we can prevent the soil erosion is terrace farming. And usually in the hilly areas we can construct the terrace and we can do the terrace farming. Terrace farming is a method in which slope of mountain are converted into step like structure called terraces. Terrace farming is a method in which slope of mountain are covered into step-like structure called terraces on which crops are grown. This reduces the speed with which water flows along the slopes, therefore reducing the soil erosion. This can stop the soil erosion. So these are some of the preventive method through which we can control the soil erosion in the hilly areas. Last important topic which we all know, which we all are familiar, which we see every day in life, is the soil pollution. So what is soil pollution? Polluting the surface of the soil, polluting the surface of the soil is known as soil pollution. Just like air and water, soil is also a natural valuable resource. So the main sources of pollution are, see, dumping of the chemical waste from the factories. Second, accumulation or improper dumping of garbage and sewage waste on land. Excessive use of pesticides and fertilizer in the soil. Accumulation of the waste such as plastic or metal which do not decompose easily. So these are some of the methods of soil pollution, and the ways of controlling the soil pollution are, so we can stop the soil pollution by following the following steps. So garbage dumping should be done in a proper way, that is garbage should be treated before being disposed. Solid waste such as bottle, plastic and metal items should be recycled. So the things which can be recycled, we should give them to a recycling. Next, organic waste such as agriculture and household waste should be composted to make manure. So already we have learned in our previous classes vermicomposting, so we can also do the vermicomposting at our homes. Next, we should to use organic fertilizer or pesticide instead of chemical ones. And the next, the chemical waste from the factories should be treated to make it harmless. This chemical waste make the land completely harmful, so we must make it harmless by treating it before, and then we should dispose it properly. So this is our chapter number 8, soil. So in this chapter we have learned that around in our urban areas or the place we live, we should not pollute the soil. We should always clean the areas where we live, as we get everything from the soil. We in Hindi we also say that land is our mother, so we should always try to conserve the soil from soil erosion. Okay, my dear students, so here was the explanation of the chapter number 8. In my next class, I will give the question answer of this, and your homework for today is to complete the exercises of this chapter.